Are you new in Sweden? Great! We've put together a list with historical events that's good to know about when talking to Swedes. The Vikings were adventurous Nordic explorers that traveled by boat all the way to America, Russia, and the Middle East from about year 800 to 1050 AD. They had their own alphabet and many gods. One was Odin, who has given the name to Wednesday, onsdag in Swedish. The mighty Thor has given name to Thursday, torsdag, and the goddess Freja has given name to Friday, fredag. In 1350, King Magnus Eriksson, Magnus III, was the first man to introduce laws for all of Sweden, so Sweden was born sometime around here. In 1520, the Danish forces invaded Stockholm and it ended with Stockholm's blodbad, the Stockholm bloodbath. Almost 100 people, mostly nobility and clergymen, were executed by the Danish in the main square. Gustav Vasa, who was born Gustav Eriksson, got away from the Stockholm bloodbath. He led a rebel movement and was eventually elected as king on June 6, 1523. That's one of the reasons June 6 is the national holiday of Sweden. Under Gustav Vasa, Sweden moved from the Catholic Church to the Lutheran. He is called the founder of modern Sweden and the father of the nation. In the 17th and early 18th century, Sweden was a huge country and had a lot of power. In Swedish, it's called stormaktstiden, literally meaning big power time. The king, Gustav II Adolf, fought in the 30 Years' War, a battle between Catholic and Protestant powers. His daughter Christina later became queen, but she didn't like it much, so she abdicated, converted to Catholicism, and moved to Rome. Sweden established freedom of the press by law as early as 1766 and was the first country in the world to do so. We got the right to spread printed information, but were accountable before the law. It also gave every citizen the right to study official documents. The borders of Sweden has moved back and forth many times, often by war, but now we've had peace since 1809. We remained neutral during the First and Second World War, so we are good at negotiating and compromise, and we are proud of it. In 1723, it became the law that parents should teach their children to read. Everybody should be able to study the religious book Catechism, the Catechism, and they were questioned by the priest every Sunday. Free and mandatory schools were introduced in 1842. Between 1850 and 1910, more than 1 million Swedes emigrated to the United States, often because of poverty. You can read more about this in the great books The Immigrants by Vilhelm Moberg, which has also been made into films. In 1918, all men in Sweden were allowed to vote. Until then, only the rich and powerful had been allowed. And in 1921, women were allowed to vote for the first time. There you go. Now you know the basics of Swedish history. Welcome!